Well, what you're about to see in the next couple of minutes is going to be a mastermind that I did with my clients. It's the first time I filmed a variation like this, and I was very, very excited because it was one of the best group calls that I've had, going over very, very key components when it comes to building up your info offer. I want every single person here to take a pen and paper or your MacBook out and take as many notes as possible. They've paid me a lot of money for what I'm about to go through right now, so I'll only show you glimpses and pieces and parts that I feel are the most important, and I want you guys to take as much notes as possible and implement this and use this for your own info business. This is crucial. This will help you tenfold, and this will be unlike anything you've ever seen. So I'm super excited to see how you guys find it. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. This is very exclusive, members only, but I wanted to show to you guys because I want you guys to truly see the quality of overall what's going on and what we're teaching.
Typically with most of our offers, we have 3 different tiers for the ecosystem. We'll have like a free self-study course, which is either free or all the way up to $997. We'll have the group coaching, which would be around 3K to 6K, and then the one-on-one, which would be 6 to 10K.
I'll be interjecting as Mahmoud goes along. So I just want to say the number one reason why we want to have this is because the absolute last thing I want for you guys is to reject clients just because they don't meet the financial quota, right? Now, I will say this though, however, when you're first starting out in the info space, you can have the luxury of doing more one-to-one on a one-on-one basis. There's some growth operators here, for example, or some guys that are around the 10, 15K per month mark, right? And they have a smaller offer. You can afford to do more one-on-one, even though they might not have that much money. So if someone is more over here in like the 1K, 1.5K, whatever it might be, I would argue, say Jerry, for example, right? Jerry Wang. In your case, for example, if someone comes in only has 1K or 1.5K, I truly still think you could still do a one-to-one basis with them. Because yes, maybe it's not worth your money, but brother, that client result, that asset, that testimonial will serve you 10 times more. Oh, go ahead, brother.
Each different tier has its own different offer, basically. So the first one will be just course modules, no live access, no calls. This is basically just going to be for the people, as Jerry said, you want to make sure that you get these people in this sort of pipeline. So even if they don't have the financial qualification to buy the one-on-one coaching, they're still in your pipeline and they can still be nurtured over time, right? The group coaching is going to be the typical offer that you're going to be selling because it's very scalable, right? You can have unlimited people in a group offer because you're only going to be doing group coaching calls like once or twice a week. And this is a fixed time every single week, just like how we're doing right now. From there, we have the one-on-one coaching. Some people can have one-on-one calls once a week. Some people do it once a month. Some people do it every other week, basically. But the reason why we have it as the highest tier and highest upsell, basically, is because obviously it's your time, and your time is your money, and you can only have a fixed capacity of people.
Your primary goal as an info business owner needs to be the following. No matter where someone joins, from the tier 1 or tier 2, every single person, your goal should be to land in tier number 3. Every single person. But Jerry, some people might not have the money. Some people might not be interested. How do I do it? Hormozi says, I take it from Hormozi, the moment you upsell someone is when they've reached their goal or reached part of their goal, but they still have another series of problems. Adam, for example, guys, for those who don't know, Adam is a day trading coach. Adam, the best example I could give you in your specific situation is if someone pays you 3K, joins the tier 2 group coaching. This is very similar, guys, to other growth operators in here as well who have trading offers. Someone joins from a tier 2. They attend the weekly group calls. They attend the modules. They watch everything. And they're seeing the results, but they still have some problems. You know they're making money from the material, so when you propose the upsell for an extra $2,000, $2,500, it's very hard for them to say no if you position it properly, right? And the second topic I want to talk about, and I won't go too much into depth, is when someone gets the results they want, that's when you ask for a referral. So 2 things to keep in mind. Number 1 is when someone's achieved part of their result, but they still have some problems, upsell or cross-sell. When someone has achieved what they wanted and they're happy, referral. I'll be fully transparent. I follow that cardinal rule from the moment I got into info. I get at least 3 referrals a month, guys. Now you guys are my more advanced cohort. I have more of a beginner cohort who are just starting out. And I'm packing that up more and more and more. I'm telling you guys, it works very well. 2 very cardinal and important rules. Mahmoud, keep going, brother.
Awesome. So this is just going to go into more depth of each different offer. So basically the self-study course is going to be pre-recorded modules, no direct live access to you. Covers the core framework of your methodology. It's self-paced. They move at their own space or their own speed, and then is delivered via different courses, platforms like Kajabi, Teachable, etc. And yeah, so why a downsell? Not everyone will buy your program on day one, and that's fine, as we explained it before. Downsell keeps them in your ecosystem, it keeps them in the pipeline so you can keep them nurtured over time, and has built-in CTAs throughout to help them nurture them towards the tier 2, so the group coaching. And these are going to be very subtle CTAs. It's not going to be something that's in your face after each module. But towards the end, obviously, if they make it towards the end, because a lot of people are just going to have this access to this course. They might make it to the end, they might not. But the people that do make it to the end are going to be the people that are most warm. They're more likely to see the CTA and actually take action with it, you know? If you want to add anything, Jerry.
Yes, absolutely. Guys, it's very prevalent in the market right now to have a free course. Very, very prevalent. It's happening right now. And it's working very, very well. Because put yourself in the prospect's mind. You want to get into a certain industry and you're looking at 5 different competitors. Out of 5, 2 of them have free courses. Right away, they're going to indirectly, subconsciously navigate towards those who have more of the free course, regardless if you like it or not. That's just going to happen because they provide more value. And on a long enough time frame, what happens is most of the time they'll end up being nurtured more long-term from them compared to you, even though you might have the best value in the world or the best information in the world. So I advise for every single person to start to think about different ways where you could offer something for free value. It doesn't have to be 13 hours. 10 hours. It could be easily 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Justin, you should 100% do a free course. You should 100% do a masterclass or whatever it might be with you and your mentees talking about how to shift someone's or wire someone's identity to close them. Couple that with multiple different mentorship calls or different fulfillment calls or modules, and that could be an easily 3-hour free course. That's a lever that you could pull in this quarter right now, and it will attract so many people because then you could actually say subconscious rewiring course for free. Marketed at X, Y, and Z, now it's for free. And every single person, and guys, it's not just for Justin, it could be for any single other industry out there who's watching right now. Adam, for example, anyone else. At the end of that module, or at the end of all that free course, you have an opt-in for a Discord. You say it's free, it's a free opt-in. Once they opt in, you know what happens, Justin, is they have the luxury to have a courtesy coaching call. Guys, what that means is they've watched 3 hours of your content on the free course, they join the opt-in page on Discord, on whatever it might be, then you offer the coaching call as a way to upsell them. And guys, who's gonna say no? When they've been watching for so many hours and they're on the call, that's when you can close them because you've seen so much value. Guys, I'm telling you right now, nobody's doing this right now in this space. All the advice I'm giving to you guys to use for yourself or for Growth Up for your clients, use this. You're gonna gain a competitive edge that your market is not seeing right now.
The next tier will be the group coaching tier. This is typically what I know a lot of the trading coaches as well that we work with, they have a group coaching, they'll have like live trading or whatever it is, whatever niche it is. You're gonna have the group calls, live coaching plus Q&A, private community and Discord access, the curriculum and modules basically. So every tier you're gonna get everything in the tier before basically. So if you're in tier 2, you're gonna get all the tier 1 stuff. Q3, you're gonna get all the tier 2 stuff as well. And then you serve unlimited clients, as I said before. You can have these group calls and easily host hundreds of people in it if it gets to that level. And you basically, you have more leverage, same hour of your time, unlimited clients in the same amount of time. And you're not hopping on these long one-on-one coaching calls with these people.
And then at graduation, the top clients that get the best results after they progress through the 3 to 6 month program, they'll have a graduation call at the end, basically, which could be with either the closer that ended up closing in my first, or it could be with the offer, you know? And then at this graduation call, all the top clients are ready to hear about the one-on-one, and it's gonna be a lot easier to sell them on this, especially if they have good results, you know? And then again, after that, it's gonna be the top tier, price range 6,000 to 10,000. It's gonna be the one-on-one private coaching. Clients who graduated your program and want more from you, they want more direct access to you than just the group coaching calls where they can only ask a specific amount of questions every time and stuff. They'll be high performers who want direct personalized strategy right away. So even if they didn't graduate from the program and they want the direct access to you immediately, these people are already gonna be pre-sold on all your content that you have already. And basically they're gonna be people with specific complex situations that need customized support. So obviously you can only do so much in the group coaching. You can only, like as we're doing right now, we have specific topics that we're teaching every single time. in these group coaching calls, but it's not going to be as customized to your specific needs every time.
For those who I have gotten recent calls with, I mentioned the importance of having a pre-call form. Having a pre-call form will be able to extract so much information from your current market, from your current audience. I have a couple names in mind right now within the community that can benefit from this so much when you're doing group calls, but this also means the same for your clients. I remember Joe, Mark, you guys had implemented that pre-call form more and more. And now what happens is, guys, as a growth operator, when you go and tell your clients, hey brother, we've just had this many group coaching calls, look at all the information I have for my clients. You know exactly, because on that pre-call form, you'll be asking, what's your current situation? What current bottleneck are you facing? What have you tried to solve it, if anything? These are all different questions you can ask. Because then what happens? Adam, for example, who is a day trading coach, like I said, who has these group calls. What if Adam does this and for the next 2 months, he sees, okay, cool, I have all this different information and it seems to me like most of my mentees get stuck in 3 different points, either point A, B, or C. What are you gonna do? You're gonna make specific modules based around these points. You're gonna talk about group weekly calls based around these points, which will lead to less problems being faced. Less problems being faced, client satisfaction increases, client execution increases, client results follow. Client results means more testimonials, more trust-driven content. What do I tell you guys in one-on-ones? Trust-driven content always wins. Better marketing, more closes coming in because your setter's booking and calls left, right, and center. It all starts from the back end. Do not focus on the front end. The back end, start there. The front end will follow. Very, very important stuff we're talking about, gentlemen. Guys, I do not see many people doing this in this space, and I genuinely think this will benefit every single person here, no matter what level you're at in cash collected. In the one-on-one, something I wish I would have done earlier, which I am doing as of this month, I found this with my whole team, is you offer an in-person mastermind event ticket to every single person that joins the one-to-one. Nick, Justin, Daniel, when you guys are on these sales calls and your closer mentions the fact that you'll be in person with X, Y, and Z at this event, at this venue in their hometown, whatever it might be. Do you understand how much the perceived value skyrockets up? Especially if you can market it on your story, right? If you could post it on your story and mention how for the first time ever, I'm offering every single person that joins my one-to-one mentorship a seat at my in-person mastermind that I'll be having in Scottsdale, Arizona, or Montreal, Canada, or Texas, or wherever it might be. Guys, do you see how there's very little downside to that? Yes, you might have to pay for a venue. Yes, you might have to pay for a catering service. Guys, we all make money here. $1,000, $1,500 max. But what's the upside? You get content for the next 6 months of you and your mentees, you and your clients. Adam, best example I could give you, brother, is you being able to market that on your front end. And then you're in Montreal and you have you and 6 of your guys. Guys, do not think you need 20 people. You don't. 5 people, 6 people, Airbnb or venue. You go and work out, play paddle together, go and have a nice presentation the way I'm having with you guys. That is so marketable. You guys have no idea. Cool. Keep going.
Awesome. So you can pitch the one-on-one cold, but it can also be used as a price anchor as well to make the group coaching seem like the best possible deal for them. And then after the group coaching cycle is finished, as we said, the students will have the option to ascend to the next tier during the graduation checkup that we mentioned with either the closer or the offer owner himself. So this is the client ascension path. So the lead comes in through the discovery call or content or free tier, free program, and then they get that group offer pitched to them. And if they weren't already in the free tier, we can either downsell them to the free tier as well. Or when I say free, I also mean like just the downsell basically. Or we get them into the group program, and then from there we get them into the one-on-one. And as I said, this isn't always going to be 100%. Some people might go straight to the one-on-one after seeing all your content, you know? Some people might be completely pre-sold, won't feel as if they need to go through the group program, and they want that direct one-on-one access to you so that they can have the customized plans and everything to get them to the goals that they set out for themselves. So yeah, this is just a general ascension from the discovery all the way up to the one-on-one.
And one thing I want to talk about as well, guys, is this ascension behind me, you have to have for your own clients. Every client that joins, irregardless of what current ticket price they're in, they need to know what their ascension process looks like, what their next 6 months look like. Nick, for example, or any other coach in here. The second you land a client, the second you close someone, have a 6-month roadmap. Have a 6-month view of them being able to see how their life is going to look like. And then reverse engineer that with AI, with Claude, with whatever, so they see what the monthly and weekly and bi-weekly and daily checklists need to be. Because then what happens is, again, client execution increases because there's no procrastination. Why is there procrastination? Because you don't know what you're doing. So your brain starts to procrastinate. So what do you do instead? You tell the client so much information, it makes it impossible for them not to know what to do. The way I do with you guys. The way every single call we have a Miro board, then I tell you guys, okay, this is your exact action step. Don't think about step number 10, just do this for now. And what do you guys do? You do it and you come back next week. And before you guys know it, 3 weeks passes by and you do more in 3 weeks than in 3 months. Because I know how this works. Do this for your clients. You will see how fast they execute. It's a game changer.
The next phase would be the moving clients up without feeling salesy. As I mentioned before, the curriculum embedded CTAs, this is going to be very short. It's not going to be all over the place. It's going to be at very specific parts of the course modules, basically, where they've seen a lot of value. They've seen that you basically put them through a long process of different modules. They've seen what you've taught them over time. And then at the end, whenever you build up that trust and they've seen the value that you've given them, you have their CTA at the end. You have it basically sprinkled in different spots in the modules. And from there, you could upsell them onto the next tier, basically, so tier 2. So at the end of the group coaching, having a one-on-one review call with every client, this is mandatory, basically. You have to make sure that you are keeping track of every single person and that you have this schedule, basically. And after this, I'm going to send you guys over a tracking sheet, and we're going to go over basically how to use it and to make sure that you're tracking every single person so that you can do these upsells and have it very organized and everything. That's going to be your natural upsell moment, and there's not going to be much of a hard pitch needed after the group coaching if they've gotten the results that you showed them at the very beginning, basically. So yeah, so it's very results-based momentum. There's a lot of I should say there's a lot of results-based momentum, and let the group wins do the selling. When a group client hits a milestone, that's also going to be a cue to introduce the one-on-one container. So obviously you have the wins channel in your program, and you're going to see some people are always going to be sending in a lot more wins than other people. Like, for instance, I've been seeing Gabe every single day sending some sort of client win. And I'm just like, if you're looking at it from your perspective, you're going to see that these clients are most likely going to be the ones that are going to be upsold later on, you know? So keep track of these people as well.
Oh, I agree with everything you just said, brother. Sorry, guys, there's small bombs going off because I'm still in Dubai, so you guys know. Small bombs going off here and there, but I have too much testosterone and caffeine in me to even be phased. Let's keep going.
As I said, this is going to be the importance of tracking your client success and the pathway, basically. If you're not keeping track of these people, they're just going to go get lost into the void, and you're not going to know where they are. You're not going to know what stage they are, how much of the modules they've watched, how many group coaching calls they've attended.
Yes, this right here, guys, you guys do this extremely well. You'll never lack money for the rest of your life. You do this very well. You track every single one of your clients to the point where you know exactly what position they're in, what they're struggling with, and how their client sentiment is. You will never lack money for the rest of your life. Why? When every single client feels like they're getting taken care of, I guarantee every single person here feels like I care for them. Despite me having a hectic schedule, I take the time, you guys are looked after, your questions are answered, and you guys feel like you're getting the value from it. That's why I haven't had a single person churn in my business ever. Ever, 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 ever. Guys, I don't want a single person here to not have a good brand rep. I want every person here that walks into Growth Capital and leaves Growth Capital's cohort to have the best brand rep in their name. The best example is Gabe in Montreal, taking over the market share of fitness coaches. I'm seeing it in real time. Why? Because his business is done very ethically, and he cares about his brand rep very well. This will make you guys so much money because every client will be looked after. Because the moment, let's say, you have a client that's more in the yellow phase or more in the bright red, that has a bunch of problems, that is not hitting you up, that hasn't attended a group coaching call in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you know to reach out to them because they're missing clarity. Otherwise, they'd be working. And what's going to happen? Their shoulders are going to detense. Oh my God, they care about me. And they're going to keep putting in the work. And you just saved the chargeback. You just saved an unhappy customer. And then he's going to get the results. All because you're tracking this. In the next page, we're going to go through the kind of sheet you're going to be using as an example to track this kind of stuff if you're not already.
We can start very simply with Google Sheets, or we could go high level later on. But yeah, it's very important that you guys start, and imperfect is better than nothing, you know? This is just a basic tracking sheet, basically. It's gonna have the name, the purchase date, the tier that they bought, their current status, the expiration, and the amount paid. And I'm actually gonna back out and I'm gonna show you the actual sheet right here. So we have the client name, the date that they joined. So it says call date, so sometimes people are gonna be coming in through free modules and stuff, but this is where you're gonna put the date that they joined, basically. The tier that they purchased, the program expiration date. So say they joined the group coaching on January 1st, on April 1st, after 3 months, that's gonna be their expiration date. So, yeah, so that's gonna be the day that you're gonna wanna have that graduation call as well. And this is gonna be basically filled out after every time you have that check-in with the clients. Obviously, you can only do so much with the people that have the free course, but for the group coaching, or if you have a VA that's keeping track of this as well, that would be perfect. So you're gonna go over the main problem discussed, the proposed solution, any resources that you sent to them, any actions for this client, and then the action items for the team, the next check-in date, call summary, and then towards the end, this is gonna be very use case based. So like if you have a CSM that's doing all this, that is keeping track of this client sentiment, results since the last call, and then the recording of the call.
Yeah.
So obviously, as I said, like only some things are gonna be used for specific clients, because obviously you're not gonna have calls with people that are in the modules and stuff. So like as the higher tier that they go up, the more of this you're gonna be filling out for each individual client, basically, you know?
This is really important because you're also going to have a bit more clarity overall regarding the moment you hop on a mentorship call, you know what kind of position they're in. You know what they need to get to the next level. Like if you hop on a coaching call and right before you hop on, you're all over the place, you're disorganized, you don't know what that current position might be in, and you're just gonna freestyle the call, they're gonna feel it. Like you guys have had one-on-ones with me. Remember how much more relieved you were when the moment you hopped on the call, I would tell you, okay, today we're gonna touch on this, and this, and your action plan will be all of this over here. And then you guys have the action plan and you have all the information necessary from me to be able to get you going. How much more relieved you guys feel, and overall more, like I could tell Justin, for example, right? Justin, we had a very, very good call just recently, and it was a 45-minute call. And I gave you not only all the proper information, but I told you exactly what you had to do in a very, very step-by-step action plan list. That increases productivity so much more, guys. So much more. And when you have that kind of sheet, which I have for every single person in this cohort right now, the moment I hop on the call, I know what I have to talk about. I know what problems you've been facing, and I know what solutions I've given you. So then what we do, like in the info space, is I give you the solution, you act on it, and we look at the data and we refine from there. Amazing, man. We'll keep going, brother.
Rest of your week is delivery and not administration. So for the third tier, it's going to be tracking before you scale. You cannot manage volume without visibility, and the pipeline is the system that allows you to scale over time. So it's very, as I said before, it's very important that you're keeping track of every single one of these leads that comes in, just so that for the offer ecosystem to run efficiently, you have to have everything tracked, every pipeline stage, all the stuff on Google Sheets or whatever CRM you're using, and yeah. So I gave you guys some action steps basically. So if you guys don't have any, like 3 different offers, decide on your 3 offers and assign a price to each one. Write 2 to 3 bullet points describing what each tier includes. From there, you're gonna map out your group coaching curriculum, basically how many calls you're gonna have per week. Typically, as I said, 1 to 2 calls is the maximum. Set up your Google Sheets client tracker as we laid out. I'll send that over in the Discord right after this as well. Identify 3 past leads that might have said no, and are they fit for the tier 1 basically? So someone that might have said no on the closing call, are they fit for the tier 1 after, like, did you give them any sort of proper nurturing after they hopped off the call? Then you're gonna write 1 CTA for your course that leads towards the tier 2.
By the way,
so after you figure out.
Sorry to cut you off, Mahmoud. There's a small delay when you're speaking. I want to say one thing that's very important as well, okay? When you want to upsell someone, the courtesy coaching call that I always talk about works very well. Let's say some of you here have only purchased the modules and the group calls only, and I want to upsell you in the one-on-one. What I would do is after 8 weeks, 10 weeks of me seeing you're getting results, I'm like, awesome, brother. Well, at the 8 or 10 week mark is when I normally have a courtesy coaching call that I honestly offer to every single person. We'd love to have you on the call. We'll talk more about it, and I'll give you the best value possible. You hop on the call. I frame it in a way where it's like, brother, you're already getting okay results. with the group coaching calls, but like what other problems are you facing? Oh, I have XYZ and XYZ. Well, do you feel like, truth be told, do you actually feel like if you had a bit more of a one-on-one basis with me where I could actually like break down like what you have to be doing and what steps you have to take to get to that next level, do you feel like that would actually help you? I mean, yeah, it definitely would. Cool. Well, listen, I'll be fully transparent with you. Up front, normally it's 9K, but like because you're already a client, because you've already shown yourself, you famoose a little bit, guys, sauce a little bit. It's just an extra XYZ per month. What happens? LTV skyrockets. Because Gabe, if you have 10 people in the group coaching call and every 8 weeks from the 10 people that join, 4 of them upsell, every 10-week cycle, you have 4 upsells minimum. And if every upsell is $3,000, that's an extra $12,000 every 10-week cycle. How many weeks are in a year? 52, right? 52, I think, right? Okay, cool. Do the math, guys. That's about $70,000, $80,000 more in your pocket. Go to Mykonos, go to Greece, go to Marbella. Do something with that money. Reinvest into ads. I'm joking, guys. Don't go to Marbella. Don't party. Fucking reinvest into ads. Okay, but I'm just saying. The point being, guys, LTV increases. You make so much more money from this because you have that system. And that system comes from the tracking. Cool? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I was just going to say real quickly, at the end of the day, the ecosystem isn't just for helping people ascend to the next stage, but it's also getting the lifetime value maximized from each individual client, basically, you know? So I'm sure a lot of you guys might have some lifetime offer that you might be selling to people, which is the reason why you might feel as if you might be the bottleneck right now, if you do feel that way. Like you're bringing on a bunch of people, like me and Jerry have worked with people in the past that are just bringing in as many people as possible.
Correct.
Lifetime clients as well. And you can see how quickly these people burn out. So having this sort of tracking for, all right, they're only going to stay for 3 to 6 months, right? And then after that, when we upsell them onto the next stage, it's going to be a situation where you're not just bringing in a bunch of people one-on-one coaching where you have to hop on one-on-one calls all day long and basically waste all your time. Like you got into business because you want a little bit more freedom, you know? You don't want to be hopping on one-on-one calls with people all day. You want to make sure that you're maximizing the amount of money without basically minimizing the amount of work that you're doing, you know? So
correct.
That's why we have this.
Exactly. And I'll be sending over this transcript, for those of you who don't have the Fathom recorder, to every single person watching this right now. Guys, I'm telling you, take half an hour after this meeting, 45 minutes, take an hour, look through all this transcript, prompt Manus, Claude, to the point where you have a virtual CSM at your disposal. It will make you so much money. Info will become so much easier. Your clients will get better results. You'll get more testimonials and you'll make so much more money. Okay? Mahmoud, thank you for sharing the screen, brother. I'd like to open up the floor, guys, for some questions. Please go one at a time. Raise your hands if you guys have any questions, please. Make them detailed. And then Mahmoud, just pick them out one by one. Whoever has a question first, guys, just raise your hands, please, on Zoom. Yes, Joe, go ahead, brother. About pricing?
Yeah, bro. And just one more question for the tier 1. Should you always have a free offer than the tier 1? Or the tier 1, it could be priced, it could be for free? How exactly?
If you would have asked me this 20 months ago, 24 months ago, 12 months ago, I would have said, you know what? No free, just do the low ticket. Now, with the current market and how it's changing, I'm going to give everyone here a piece of game that if you don't use, you're losing out on money. You can have a free course, a free video module section on YouTube, 2 hours, 3 hours. Here's the trick, guys. Part of that free course, you can include 30 minutes or 40 minutes of a snippet of a group call or a one-to-one call. One that shows tremendous value. Gabe, you should do this, bro. One that shows a tremendous amount of value because I'm doing this as we speak. So then imagine like a prospect comes on, watches a free course of one of your clients, right, Joe? And they see 40 minutes of a group call and they're like, wow, that was so much value. And then what happens is in the last 10, 15, 20 minutes, the offer owner at the end of that video says, guys, thank you so much for watching. I have another 2 hours worth of free course content. Click the link in the description right now. You'll join X, Y, and Z Discord or whatever host you want to use it on. And you'll get the rest of this free course and free training. Just click that link. It takes 30 seconds and you'll get access to it. And you can even screen share, but blur it, but screen share the different videos or the extra content in the free course. Do you guys know why we do that? I'll tell you guys why we do this. Number one, everyone knows this. If I were to just provide up front the Discord link to the free course or whatever it might be, there will be a drop-off. No matter what anyone says, there will be a smaller drop-off and there will be a smaller conversion compared to a regular YouTube video. But guys, we're all smart here. We can all assume If someone's watching until this 2 hours, 30 minutes, 2 hours, 50 minutes, 3 hours, they're committed. They're committed. And to that point, when you direct them towards the free Discord or whatever it might be to opt in, they will always do it. Why? Well, they've ate 3/4 of the pizza. They want that last quarter. It's the most valuable one, especially if you frame it that way. And then what happens? They join your Discord, you have their information, you have a DM setter dispatched with a specific DM setting script, and you start DM setting. Especially if in the opt-in form, you can also ask for their Instagram because you want to send over value their way. Now what happens? This is too much fucking sauce. Now what happens is they get the opt-in, they get into the free Discord, they watch the free course, and you also get their Instagram, and your DM setter reaches out. Especially if in the type form or whatever opt-in form you do, you mention that the reason why we ask for the Instagram is to shoot over more bonus and free value. That, guys, I promise you, is something no one is doing. And I want every single person here to do things and do stuff that no one else is doing to get results that no one else has ever gotten in their industry, in their niche. Answer your question, Joe?
Yeah, bro.
Good. Gabe, client testimonial coming very soon, my friend. Very soon. Talk to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, building off of what Joe said,
Yes.
I'm thinking of not only hosting them on YouTube, like in a playlist, like you're saying, but I'm also thinking of, because I'm running ads right now for the landing page that I built with Tanis, which is like a lead magnet, but just about like a written free course.
Yep.
So I'm thinking of posting the modules there. Every section, there's like 8 sections, 8 reasons why you're stuck under 20K a month.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to do like 8 videos where I'm going to upload to YouTube and debunking those topics, like, like 3 hours of video content.
Okay.
And doing exactly what you said. Do you think that would be relevant as well to run ads towards there, or to only do profile visit ads?
So your question is it more worth it to run direct response ads where you're mentioning in your messaging and in your copy that you have a free course to direct them to, or is it worth it to just do the profile funnel ads and then from there, let the free value do the work for you? Is that your question? Okay. Both aren't bad. I'll be honest with you. But if you want the best ROAS, follower ads, brother. I'll be honest with you. I think with follower ads, you're going to get such a good reaction of people that hop on your page. They see the free resource. They'll click on it every single time. Every single time. Whereas some people, I'm sorry?
Link in bio pretty much.
Link in bio, yes, but I wouldn't be opposed to you also doing direct response. I wouldn't, especially if you can make it in a way where when you click it and they click the small banner at the bottom, it goes directly to an opt-in form. But again, keep in mind, brother, guys, the reason why direct response is different is because the sales cycle is shorter. It's not the same, right, Gabe? As them hopping on your profile, they watch 3-4 of your story sequences, 2-3 reels, and then they go on the free resource. Because then they're not bouncing off whatsoever. Fucking no way. Compared to doing a regular opt-in, they're gonna have that bounce rate a bit more. If it were up to me, I would do the follower ads, look for 4 or 5 days what the numbers are looking like. You'll get a very low cost per lead. I can almost vision it right away. That right there with the proper system and the proper funnel, you'll crack 150 a month. I know you will. Because I'm doing that right now as we speak. I'm making my modules right here in Dubai as we speak, and I'm also doing a section where it's for free with different converting mechanisms in every single one to make it. Like that right there, guys, like it's gonna blow your business up. So I hope that answers your question, Gabe, but 100% do that. Very, very good thinking. And guys, I really, really hope that, like, the information that I went through today gets your brain to start thinking of different ways you can optimize the business. That's why we're having these kind of group calls, guys. I wanna have them at least once, twice a week, because you can use this for your own business and it will help you tenfold. Cool? Devin, what's up, brother?
What's good, man? So yeah, when it comes to the group coachings, I'm just wondering your insight here, like, should they be separated with, let's say, more beginner fitness coaches and advanced ones, or how would you say that part,
Look, man, I 100% say yes. That's why I have these kind of calls. Because the call I just had right now, if I have with someone that's making 5K a month, they're just starting out in their info offer, imagine how confused they'd be. But it depends the kind of niche. So with your kind of industry, you have to ask yourself, let me look back at the last 10 Fathom recordings, the past 10 Fathom transcripts. What kind of questions was I asked? And are they suitable for like beginners? Or is it more complex in terms of like the concepts, the ideas? If it's more complex, if it's harder to understand, the answer's right in front of you. Because the last thing you want, brother, is you combine beginning and experienced, and then you have like a 20-minute conversation the way I'm having now about a very experienced topic, and this person gets overwhelmed. They won't tell you they're overwhelmed, but they feel it inside. I would always say go the extra mile, go the extra step. It will never hurt you. An extra, 3 hours a week? If it's 2 coaching calls, 90 minutes each? Yeah, do it, bro. 100%. Joe, tell me, brother, shoot.
Yeah, and bro, for the pricing, do you have any pricing strategy, how to do it, or like based on what?
If anyone tells you in the market right now, there is one specific pricing strategy to follow or one specific pricing calculation to follow, they're bullshitting you. I'm not joking, guys, they're bullshitting you. Because there isn't just one specific strategy. There isn't. It's testing. There are different ways that can guide you towards the right path of where the pricing should be. One example could be look at your most common objections. And if it's just pricing, a couple of tweaks you have to do in your messaging, your positioning, your marketing, or lowering the price a little bit. So look and see what your objections might be. Another thing, guys, as well, is keep in mind, especially if you're in the B2B space, logic is huge. You want to make it make sense. If my offer is 9K, but I'm going to teach you how to build a business that makes at least 50K a month, well, you make that money back in 2 closed deals. Kind of makes sense. But if you're charging 9K for a beginner trader that isn't going to touch 9K in total profits in the first 3-4 months, Joe, you see what I mean? Like, you got to ask yourself these kind of questions. Like, does that make sense? Do they see the value and are they willing to pay that price? Oftentimes the answer is no. And you always want to look and see at what your closing rate is. And again, if it depends on what the objections might be. Like, I've had a certain point in time just a couple weeks ago where I was getting like a bunch of laydowns, PIFs. And I was like, okay, cool. I got to raise them even more now. And that's what I'm doing. Same thing with every single person here. Like, if you look at your calls and you're like, I'm getting laydowns, people want to buy from me, raise your prices. It's the biggest lever you could pull. And even if you don't get PIFs sometimes, guys, in-house installments are still great, right? Or financing is still great. MRR, what, you're telling me 20, 30K MRR isn't nice? It's amazing. So look for that as well. And this is a whole other lesson that I could talk about, which I can go on for hours, but I'll make it in like a quick 2 minutes. For every single person here that is having problems with booking unqualified leads, it's your messaging, your positioning, and your marketing, all in one. Well, your messaging positioning goes into your marketing, if that makes sense. Messaging, your market call out, your specific audience. What you're saying needs to match the kind of finances you want on a call. Notice, guys, in my marketing, I never speak to new business owners. Never. I'm always like, you're making 10K a month, you're making 50, maybe even 20K a month, but you're XYZ, and then I start going like in the pain points. And I talk more about that. Like, that is the kind of audience I want. So Adam, for example, if you don't want any more traders that are on the calls that are fucking broke, well, what if you tweaked your messaging and you spoke about specific situations that inconsistent traders find themselves in? Because they might be inconsistent, but they still have a job to rely on, so they make money in both kind of fields at least. Or Gabe, best example as well. If you want to focus on business coaches who are stuck between 10 and 20, or at least making 5 figures a month, include it in your messaging, in your creative, in your copy. Jerry, same thing for you, Jerry Wang. If you want to target people that are getting into sales, but they have at least some money, how would you mention it? Well, one example of a reel could be you're making 4K a month, 5K, even $6,000 every single month. But then every single time you go into work, you have that feeling of depression, of sadness, that you want to go do more. You look at these people on Instagram that are living the life that you want, and you ask yourself, when is enough enough? Listen, I've been there myself. You don't have a skill issue, you have an information issue. Because if you knew the exact information that you had to do to get to that extra 10K per month and leave your job, you would do it. That's an example of the market call out. Guys, another very good example that I'll go through, this everyone can use, is when you keep posting and talking about specific clients and what they're doing, you'll attract that. For example, as you guys know, Gabe paid me through DMs. I market that. I market the fact that Gabe paid me through DMs. And what happens? I had 2 people come in yesterday and 1 person come in today. And they all want to start, pay me half now, half next month. And they told me, yeah, cool, I'll pay through DMs, no problem. Because I market it often. That's another very good trick to use as well in your marketing. Luke, my man, talk to me.
What's up, Jerry? On the current offer I'm running, we're targeting most of the beginners, like through our messaging, positioning. And I'm kind of seeing that thing we discussed yesterday where we're getting some more unqualified leads on the call.
Yes.
Would it make sense for us to position towards people who already have their business up and running?
Yes, of course, because then you can ask yourself, well, if someone has their business up and running, what kind of problems do they have there? Guys, the problems never end. So someone is making 5, 10K a month, what problems do you have there? Probably staffing or managing or tracking or leverage, delegation, right? Talk about these problems. Because if you talk about these problems, you'll attract people that have those problems. Make sense?
Yeah.
Amazing. Good. Having YouTube videos about that as well works very, very well because you'll attract people that need that kind of stuff. If I'm a beginner and I see an advanced concept, I'm not going to go watch it. It doesn't serve me anything. People are selfish. They just want something for themselves. So feed them. Amazing. Guys, any questions?
I have one question here.
What's up, Nick?
When you're talking about the low ticket for the courtesy call, who would do that? Would it be you or like the closer or your CSM?
Your low ticket, what do you mean? Like, if there's like fulfillment or what do you mean?
Like the lower ticket offer, like the 997, for example.
I was gonna say typically the call would be the graduation call would be between the group and the top tier, the one-on-one coaching. So in the modules, it would be basically just CTA sprinkled around through the modules, and that would be like the kind of selling. And also, like, hopefully after a little bit, you're gonna get people sent emails to them. You're gonna be nurturing them through the email sequences and everything as well. And as I said, you want to keep track of each person that comes into the module as well. I know some people run their modules through YouTube, so it might be a little bit more difficult through that. But if that's the case, you're gonna want to be a little bit harder with the CTAs and making sure that we actually get people opted in to some sort of free Discord, as Jerry mentioned before. So yeah, it kind of just depends on where you're gonna be posting the modules as well. And then, like I said, the group coaching and the one-on-one is where that call is going to be.
And fulfillment-wise, Nick, you should not be contacting on or being on calls with these low ticket. No way. No way. You should not be doing that. It should either be your CSM or they don't have any access. It should be just modules, just group. Make it strict. Make them understand. Tell your closer that. Your closer sets the expectation. The moment your closer delivers false expectations is the moment the client becomes unhappy. It's the same exact way if I told you guys, yeah guys, you're getting one-on-one on the call, then before you know it, it's only group calls, no one-on-ones. That's an unhappy customer. You don't want that. Right, Nick? So you do not fulfill for the low ticket, like yourself on calls. It's going to be your CSM or your modules do the work as well as your community. Mahmoud, any closing statements?
Yeah, so I actually just wanted to just express my gratitude that I appreciate everyone hopping on the call and stuff. This is only the first of many, and I'm really excited to see how everything goes over the next few months, years, whatever, this is honestly the very beginning of everything, So I just wanted to request you guys so that we can make these calls a little bit better and more tailored to what you guys need. You guys can send in the one-on-one channel. Obviously, my calls are going to be more like back-end related, making sure that your systems are all dialed in. So I want to see what you guys have to say about what sort of bottlenecks you might be facing in terms of the back-end systems and everything. So if you guys could send that over in your one-on-one channels, that'd be very, very helpful for me on deciding on the topics for each one of these calls and stuff. So
yes.
So yeah.
100%. That will help a lot. We also have a weekly curriculum that we follow. Myself and Mahmoud, we made different weekly topics that we'll be touching on and covering that we'll soon publicly share to you guys so you guys know on a week-to-week basis what the topics are. I will say this though. Do not book a one-on-one call if you aren't attending the group calls. I'm very firm with this as well. Show up to the group calls, book the one-on-ones after as well. I want you guys on these group calls. It will teach you guys a lot of stuff. It will help you guys a lot. Access the recording, review it, look at it, implement it from it. Every single person should take an hour, 2 hours a week for this. It will help you guys tremendously. Trust me on this. I have another group call that I'll be taking on Thursday. I want to do the same time as today. So Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern, right? I'm aware that some of you guys won't be able. Again, the recording will be given. On Thursdays, it's going to be more marketing. And I want you guys to have specific questions about your offer. God bless every single one of you guys. I'll send over the transcript if you guys need. Let's have a winning month, guys. The info industry is easier than you guys think. Now let's get to work. I'll see every single person here in the Discord channel. Any questions, message me. Otherwise, guys, God bless every single one of you guys. Thank you. Ciao.